everyone. Hope you all are doing good. Compared to other IKS topic, this topic is quite easy to grasp for you. So today we are going to discuss about how mind and mental health disorders are viewed in the ancient time period. It's the concept of mind and mental health disorders in the ancient Bharat. So the ancient Bharat, encompassing the Vedic, Upanishadic and Ayurvedic tradition, viewed the mind as subtle, unitary entity integral to the self, body and the soul, functioning as the six sense organs that process sensory input and governs the cognition, emotion and action. The concept of mind, that's a manas. It's derived from the root man, meaning to think. Manas originates in the text like Vedas, where it is described as shift, hot-featured, and the controller of sense essential for knowledge and the self-control. Nourished by the subtle fruit essence and influenced by the gunas. There are three gunas of the personality of a person. They are the sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva is the purity, rajas is the activity, and tamas is the inertia. The mind balance determines the mental health with sattva promoting the clarity and the others leading to imbalance when the dominant. So the mind in philosophical test. In Upanishads and Samkhya expanded the mind divided into aspects like buddhi, akankara, chitta and manas, emphasizing its roles in the self-realization beyond the material form. So the Vedic hymns portray the mind as the fastest entity linked to the heart and recording impression from the senses and enabling the cognitive, affective and cognitive processes. So looking into the each and elements, buddhi is the intellectual and ahankar is the ego state, the sense of individual identity and self. Chitta is the memory, the storehouse of the past impressions. Manas is the attention organ process sensory information. So in Vedic Upanishad and Samyakya, the mind is expanded into four forms: Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, and the Manas. In the Ayurvedic integration, Ayurveda integrates this holistically, locating the manas primarily in the heart with the channels connecting to the brain, that is Manovaha Sotas, and meditating between the soul, that's the Atma, sense and intellect for the perception and decision making. Then the mental health disorders, that is Manovikara. Okay, in ancient time, how it is viewed, mental health disorders is viewed. The disorder arises from the doshas. In ancient, a person is having a disorders like psychosis, epilepsy, or schizophrenia, or depression. They are the imbalance between the three doshas, which we are discussed earlier, which are the vata, pitta, and kapha. So these three doshas imbalance leads to disorders. So, which are they? So, the doshas imbalance like um, Unmada, Apasmara, and milder Manovikara. Unmada is psychosis state which is Vada type. Schizophrenia is like Pitta mania and Kapha is depression. Okay. Unmada in under their psychosis which is Vata, which is a balance in the Vata. Schizophrenia is the Pitta mania, other name. Kapha means depression. In Abasmara, we know that it's epilepsy and it's the neurological disorders with seizure. And milder Manovikara is the Chinta. Chinta is anxiety. Chinta means anxiety. And Shoga, it is a grief, Bhaya, fear, and Moha, the delusion. So the ancient, these terms, delusion, grief, anxiety, fear, schizophrenia, psychosis, depression, epilepsy are known as in different names. Okay, and which are and they viewed that these mental disorders are caused by the imbalance between the three doshas, that is vata, pitta, and kapha. Okay, then the certain mental disorder. The key condition including the unmada, that psychosis, vata type schizophrenia like pitta, mania, kapha, depression, apasmara, which is earlier discussed mental disorders. The exogenous type involves supernatural causes like graha, possession, while endogenous linked to the tridosha, weak sattva, and worsen susceptibility. So, in earlier, mental disorders are viewed as the imbalance between these three doshas, and also in another form, exogenous type, it is caused as a possession, that is some ghost like graha in the in the problem in the graha is caused by the mental disorder. This is another type invoked is an exogenous type, that is the graha possession. Possessions are the reason for the mental disorders. Okay. So there are certain types which is mentioned here. Type is Vadonmada, which is dosa association is Vada. It's modern. Now it's known as schizophrenia. So schizophrenia earlier is known as Vadonmada, which is imbalance in the Vada. Then is Pitto-Enmada. It's imbalance in the Pitta, which is now known as mania. Then kapha in Mada, then imbalance in the kapha, which leads to depression. Then Unmada, it's a general term, and it imbalance between the three doshas, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, which leads to psychosis condition. Okay, so the imbalance between three these gunas leads to some disorders, and that disorders are stated here. The disorder imbalance in the vata leads to vadanmada, now known as schizophrenia. Imbalance in the pitta is known as mania, which is earlier known as pitta and vata. Imbalance in kapha, known as kapha and vata, now known as depression. And imbalance in these three doshas leads to unmada, which is a state called psychosis. Okay, so these are the way they viewed mental disorders in the ancient time period. Prevention and management of this, how in ancient, how these disorders are prevented. Okay, the mental tranquility support digestion, sleep, immunity, and reproduction. Positive sattva prevent diseases via dinacharya, that means daily routines. Sadvrita, ethical conduct. And medhaya rasayana, example brahmi, uh, like medicines. Okay, so in earlier, the prevention or curing of the treatments were based on proper sleep, immunity, and their day changes in their daily routine, or maintaining proper daily routine, and maintaining the ethical conduct and conception of the Brahmi and Sangha for intellectual development. So conception of this natural herbs will leads to prevention of the mental disorder. Then therapeutic approaches. Sattva Vaija is known as psychotherapy, the restrainment of harmful object. Daiva Parashra is the spiritual mantras, chanting the spiritual mantras. Then Yuktiva Prashcharya means the rational, means conception of the herbs, medicinal herbs. Okay, then yoga. These are the therapeutic approaches in the ancient time. The therapies include Sattvaicharya, that's a psychotherapy, restraining from the harmful object. Daiva Daiva Prascharya, that means chanting the mantras. Yuktiva Prascharya means a conception of the herbals. And finally, the yoga for controlling the chitta, that is the manas, controlling the mind. Okay, these are the four methods, therapeutic approaches earlier in the ancient time period. And Medhaya Rasayanas is a positive sattva prevent diseases via dinacharya, that is our daily routine, and sadritra, ethical conduct, and Medhaya Rasayana, that's by consumption of Brahmi exam. So strong sattva individual tolerate pain better and highlighting the sattva assessment in the diagnosis. So this holistic approach to mental health was viewed in the ancient time period also. So the ancient Bharat understanding of mind and mental health disorders integrated physical and psychological and spiritual dimensions, offering a comprehensive prevention and treatment and strategies that remain the, which is relevant on the today's. So these are the views or how mental disorders are viewed in the ancient time period. Okay, thank you.